Alright everybody, how goes it? Hope you're all well. Well, we've just done the Manufacturers Round 14 from Interlagos. So this is the TV edition. If you want to watch the live on-board footage, it's the video just before this. That includes the practice and qualifying and the race. If you want to just watch the live on-board race, click about 15-20 minutes into that and it'll take you straight to it. But this is the TV edition. I don't know why this bit takes so long. So in time practice we did what did we do? I honestly can't remember now. But qualifying was good. We did alright in it. We managed a third place, as you can see there. So I remembered to rev the car out this time to burn off some fuel, because this race wasn't a fuel saver, and also the tyres weren't an issue either really. So it's 11 laps, no pit stop required. We weren't going to run out of fuel and the tyres were going to last the duration of the race. So it was basically just a sprint to the end. And as you know, if you've watched previous videos from Interlagos, this is our favourite track. .39.5, that's what we did in time practice, and in qualifying we did a 40.2, I think it was. I think the pole sitter did get an a 39.5. So again, as it is in most of our qualifying sessions, the time that we managed to do in time practice would have been good enough for pole. But as always, there's tyre wear in qualifying, so you've got to take that into account. So we're hoping for a good race here. But I knew the Nissan in front there and the Chevrolet, they're power cars and this is a power track, so keeping up with them wasn't going to be that easy. So I was trying to take it a little bit easy here at the first couple of corners because we're on the hard tyre, so they will be cold and not very grippy at all. And we were a bit slow through the S's there, which allowed the Lamborghini up the inside of us. And I did think he was going to go for the move on the outside, which unsettled me a little bit, and we both sort of outbraked ourselves into that corner on cold hard tyres, and we both picked up a half a second penalty for it. So we didn't have the best starts, both of us, to the race, which meant I also lost the slipstream to the Nissan in second place there. Porsche does go well here, and we were doing consistent laps, consistent times. I mean, even though we finished, started third, top 10 is all I aim for. So even at this point the tyres weren't really warmed up enough, I don't think. Just sliding about a bit there, although I was pretty much on the limit for my skills. So here we are, about to serve both our penalties. So luckily that we both got one. We didn't swap positions, and neither of us lost a position. So now all I was trying to do was try to push as much as possible to try and catch up the Nissan in front, because I needed his slipstream. But like I said earlier, catching them power cars on a power circuit wasn't going to be easy, if not impossible, unless they started fighting with each other and started to slow each other down. So you saw there the Lamborghini gave me a tap in the braking zone, which pushed me wide, which allowed him to go through. And we were having good clean driving up. I mean, I know this is only lap 4, but up until that point we were having some good clean driving, so I did think that he would possibly let me back through as soon as he gained the position from pushing me wide, but he didn't. And that Lamborghini is also quite a powerful car, as you'll find out in the next few laps. That I was catching him in this sector here. I could keep up with him quite easily and gain time on him if he was ahead by a bit. I was making up maybe 2 or 3 tenths and catching him. But on the start straight, on the straight after the first 2 corners, he was able to pull away, because that Lamborghini has got a lot of power in a straight line. So another car that was going to be difficult for me to get past. But I was hoping he was going to pull me forwards. But even though he did push us wide and we dropped a position, I was still quite happy with 4th, really. But I did want my 3rd place back. So even in the slipstream down this straight, I couldn't really gain any time on him. As you can see, we're quite status quo there, really. I didn't gain anything. The slipstream, all it was doing was enabling me to stay with him and not let him pull away. But it was this sector here where I was a lot quicker. As you can see, I caught him up already there. And I did think about going to the move into that turn quite a few times, but I just wasn't quite close enough. And this one here. But he was shutting the door on all those corners where I could have dived up the inside, well, not dived up the inside, but made a move up the inside. He wasn't for giving me any space, so I knew that quite quickly that if I was going to go up the inside, I'd have to be a bold, rash move, and I'd have to try and make it stick, because I knew he was going to turn in on me. So you see how much he's pulled away there on that straight. The power in that Lamborghini was quite impressive. I was also aware that the cars behind were falling back quite a bit. I think at this point they're about 2.5 seconds behind. And that continued to that gap continued to grow throughout the race, right up until lap 9. Where things start to get a bit spicy. So as you can see, down that first straight, that Lamborghini had maybe 2.5 seconds advantage on me, and then after that middle sector there, it's probably only half a tenth in front. So the Porsche was a lot better through that sector, and I caught him up. But through these straights here, he was able to maintain the gap, and I couldn't get any closer to go for a move. And the two cars out in front, the two power cars, they didn't seem to be pulling away much either. I don't know if they were fighting a lot that we can't see, and I couldn't see when I was on the track myself. But they sort of maintained. They were about 5 seconds in front of us, I think. But they didn't seem to pull out much of a gap either. I think that was the closest I was throughout the race to him on this straight, but I still wasn't close enough to go for the move. I was pleased with my driving up to this point. I was hitting all my apexes, all my braking points. The tyres were looking good. I wasn't saving tyres, but they were holding up really well. And the fuel was burning off nicely. So yeah, we were quite status quo really for the majority of this race. I think our talent was fairly equal with each other. It's just the difference in cars that made the difference. And he was good at defending, I'll give him that. He knew how to defend. He knew how to defend, and he knew how to not give you any space when you went to try and go for a move. So he must be getting close to lap 9 now, I think. So we were quite cat and mouse all the way around these laps. Nothing to be gained and nothing to be lost really. Yeah, so this is lap 9 and that happened. And then that happened. Absolutely gutted. I've watched the replay back a few times from the onboard, and I've watched all my inputs, my braking inputs, my steering inputs. I braked at exactly the same point. I turned in at exactly the same point, but for some reason the car just went straight on. I don't know why the car did not want to turn in. I don't understand it. So that was an unfortunate error. I assume it was driver error. I don't know. I can't really figure it out. But yeah, the car didn't want to turn into that corner at all that time for some reason. There must have been something slightly different that happened, which lost me 5 places. But luckily I was behind 2 cars that were fighting each other and were not quick in a straight line. They had good grip around the corners, but they weren't quick in a straight line, so I was hoping to be able to get past these 2 as quickly as possible. So this is lap 10, I think. So as you can see, they were busy fighting with each other there, which allowed me up the inside of the Subaru. And the power of the Porsche, and I had a good exit out of that corner, so that allowed me up into 8th. So all I had to do now was get a good exit onto the straight, the start straight, and I should be able to get past the Renault fairly easily. I knew I was faster than these guys, purely from where I qualified. So I just had to get my head down and make my move stick. So he had a very poor exit there out of that corner, and I had a very good one. So I was able to get up the inside of him easily. And the power of that Porsche in a straight line was far superior than the Renault. So that allowed me up into 7th and able to pull away from him. He was still quite close, but good driving from him here in this first few corners. He didn't outbrake himself or run into the back of me. So I was able to pick my line, hit the apex and power out of it. Now the two guys in front, I don't really know what was going on, but I think into this corner here they were battling with each other, and I'm not sure, yeah, they ran, well, the BMW ran wide, which gave him a penalty. And so yeah, I don't know what those two guys were doing, but they must have been battling, or they ran wide themselves. But luckily they gave themselves a half a second penalty each as well. So this was the last lap. So all I was trying to do here was hang on to the back of them and make sure that when we crossed the line I was less than half a second behind them. So I was praying for a good exit here, which I did get. I was hoping to just stay in the slipstream of the Citroen. Cross the line, not too far behind them, which I did. So luckily we went back up to 5th. Handbrake turn for the fans there from the Mercedes. So again, that race was a bit of a teeth dryer. It was going so well up to lap 9, and then car just didn't want to turn in on that corner that we're driving up to now. Don't really know what happened, but it happened. But fortunately, due to other people's mistakes and fighting with each other, we managed to get ourselves back up to 5th. So started 3rd, lost 3rd, and I think if I hadn't have made that mistake, we would have finished behind the Lamborghini in 4th. So after that mistake, to get back up to 5th, I'll take that. We got 67 points and I think about 1200 DR points. So it wasn't as good as what we were expecting as we were driving around the track. We were expecting to have a good result and a good finish. But we didn't get a poor result and a poor finish. So I'm going to take that and learn from it and hopefully do better next time. So yeah, that's that. So anyway, thanks for watching, folks. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you wish. Much appreciated. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. I'll be seeing you.